Rovio has returned with yet another addition to the Angry Birds series of games, and it's now available for both Android and iOS devices. And while recent titles had sought to offer different mechanics than the physics-based ones that made the original Angry Birds games such big hits, Angry Birds Evolution is decidedly less casual than some of Rovio's more recent additions to the franchise, such as their Match 3 Angry Birds games, for instance. This is a role-playing game of sorts, where your duty is to come up with a team of unstoppable evolved super birds, and guide these birds as they put a stop to the bad piggies and their evil plans. And since there's a lot of evolution involved in this game, you don't just get the basic birds from the previous games, but more than 100 new ones, as Rovio claims. That's a quick and easy summary for this new game, but that, of course, doesn't tell us the entire story. And you, for one, may be wondering what you can do to master this game and foil the pigs' plans with your army of evolved birds. Read on, as we shall be covering as many bases as possible in our Angry Birds Evolution Strategy Guide. We hope to run the gamut as far as topics go, so feel free to refer to our guide anytime any of the game's mechanics might not make too much sense, or may feel a little too hard to master. 1. Be smart when leveling up your birds. Obviously, you want to level up your birds to get them farther in the game, but there are certain techniques that you need to follow if you want to level them up the smart way. Chief among these is to always use birds of the same color when leveling up the ones you have. Using same colored birds will always mean more XP, so if you have a choice, always go for same colored birds when leveling up. But that's not the only strategy you should follow when trying to smartly level up your birds. Another good technique to follow would be to focus on your rarer birds and prioritize them during the leveling up process. More stars means higher on the rarity tier, just as it is in any other rebounds per game with such mechanics in play. You don't want to pay much attention to your common, one-star rarity birds. You can sacrifice them anyway and use them as fodder for leveling up your rarer ones. 2. Rarity matters a lot. While we're still on the subject of rarity, we might as well tell you that each new star your birds move up on the rarity scale make them substantially more powerful than birds from the last tier. To use a very basic example, 2-star rarity birds at level 1 will always be a great deal more powerful than 1-star birds, even at the highest possible level. As you can see, you should always be putting a premium on rarity. 3. Unlock those bird abilities. In the Angry Birds universe, Red is the face of the franchise, the acknowledged leader despite his lack of special skills compared to the rest of his colleagues. But in Angry Birds Evolution, all of the birds in the game have their own leader abilities, regardless of how few or how many stars they have. So how can you unlock these abilities? This would require making it through the campaign levels, and specifically making it to the White Mountains. Once there, you'll unlock each bird's leader abilities, and have more factors to keep in mind when choosing which birds to include on your team for any given battle. 4. Don't waste time, do the scout missions ASAP. Once they become available, you should make it your very first priority to work on some scout missions. The catch here is that you only have so much energy to use in these missions, just 3 units to spend. And furthermore, it would seem that Rovio is now requiring players to complete scout missions once they've been opened. That's not necessarily the most welcome of developments, but it is what it is, and that's even more reason for you to prioritize scout missions if and when available. While it would have been a good idea to leave those missions unlocked and open for as long as possible, even leaving more than 3 missions unlocked, which would have been fine in the past, that part of the workaround appears to have been nerfed. A recent update saw Rovio make the scout missions disappear if left incomplete for a certain amount of time. But the good thing here is that these missions are quite easy to complete, and the rewards can help you upgrade your birds faster than normal. You would also be allowed to rent the rarer and more powerful birds of other players, which could allow you to complete the scout mission faster and with less trouble. 5. When to use autoplay. Angry Birds Evolution, like many rebounds per game, comes with an autoplay feature, which allows you to leave the fighting to the AI, while you just sit back and relax. Should you use this feature in this game? As we often suggest, we would only recommend using autoplay if you're up against an opponent that is much weaker than you. Just tap on the lower right icon, and you're free to let the game do all the fighting while you do all the relaxing. But if you're up against an opponent of similar or better skill, then you should get involved in the fight, because the decisions AI makes in autoplay are usually the most obvious ones, and don't take into account any outside variables that you would be able to adjust for if you were in control. 6. How to earn more coins. When it comes to leveling up your birds in Angry Birds Evolution, you'll need a fair amount of coins for that. That's your common currency, and serious leveling up may require some serious grinding. But there are multiple ways you can utilize to earn more coins for your cause. First of all, you can sell birds you no longer need to earn some easy coins without having to wait. Of course, you may need your more common birds to level up the rarer ones, but if you've got a surplus of any kind of bird, you can sell those extra birds and make some quick money. Having spare birds will also allow you to send them off on timed adventures, and that's a second way to earn coins in this game that you could try out for yourself. This entails sending your extra, ostensibly useless birds on super long missions that may yield some coins in the end. Just be warned, however, that you shouldn't expect much income through this method, even with the long time required for completion. Changing the difficulty level is a good way to get better rewards in the game, and that isn't just limited to coins. But it's a great technique to earn coins faster. Just increase your difficulty level before beginning a battle, and you're set. This option only becomes available at level 8, when you can change from normal to hard difficulty. Once you're at level 12, you can then change to insane difficulty, which promises even bigger rewards. While playing the game, you can aim for the pigs at the sides, which would generally be another easy way to earn coins quickly. Lastly, you've also got some special birds in the game, which reward you with coins in battle. These include the yellow bird whose superpower gifts you with a bonus coin per enemy hit. Always look at the bird descriptions if you're not sure which ones give you coins as part of their superpowers. 7. A closer look at the bird trading mechanic. As you may have ventured to guess, all the birds in your lineup have their corresponding costs and selling prices in gold, and these prices will always be based on how rare they are, or how common. 1-star birds, meaning the common ones you usually use for leveling up rarer ones, are worth 10 gold, 2-star birds are worth 20 gold, and so on, and so forth. But you wouldn't want to sell those 4 and 5-star birds, should you have some of these super rare birds in your lineup. They are obviously hard to come by, and you may need them as you progress into the more difficult stages of the game. 8. Crawl the dungeons. We didn't mention this in the above tip on earning coins as we believe it merits a separate entry. But the dungeons mode in Angry Birds Evolution is another way to earn coins in the game, albeit one that is much harder than the ways we told you above. We would recommend not trying the dungeon crawl out until you've reached level 15 to 20. At the very least. Playing the dungeons at normal difficulty would require that your team have a total power rating of 2,500, plus 5 birds of the same color. You will also need at least 10 dungeon keys if you want to enter these crawls, or 15 if you're thinking of auto-battling it out in this mode. We can't see why you'd want to do that, though, as dungeon crawling is no picnic in this game. We would suggest that you reach a certain level, may it be in terms of your in-game level or your skill, before moving forward. 9. Upgrade your inventory. Diamonds are the game's premium currency, and you'll need 200 of them to upgrade your inventory and get 10 more slots. This will matter later on in Angry Birds Evolution, as you'll be needing more birds of the same color, depending on the mission. As such, it's something you'll need to plan ahead for. So if you've earned some diamonds in the game, don't spend them on anything else just yet, save up for that inventory upgrade, as it'll be worth the premium currency expense. 10. How to get more free gems. We've told you what you should be spending your gems on, but you may also be wondering what you can do to earn more of them. First of all, you'll want to log into the game every day, even for a few quick minutes of gameplay, or even a few seconds, just to make sure you're logged in for the day. Not all of your daily login rewards will give you gems, but some of them will. Even if you don't get gems, you'll get some nice goodies for free, with each successive login meaning better quality rewards. You also get free gems in the game for unlocking new birds and new enemies. We'll get to the new birds part a little later on in this guide, but we can tell you right off the bat that you do get gems for unlocking these characters. While you will get more gems for rarer, more powerful characters, you have to remember that Angry Birds Evolution does make use of the gacha system in most cases. Most of the time, you're relying on chance, and not on choice or a fixed reward. With all the birds and enemies available to unlock in this game, we're sure you'll be able to earn a ton of gems this way. You can send out scouts once you reach a specific level, and if they find a gem pigs while out on duty, you can get some free gems. Make sure to do this as soon as they're available to enjoy a better chance of earning gems without having to pay. Also, mastering adventures will give you gems as a reward. You should be sure that your team is meeting the power requirements whenever you've got the chance to send your birds out to complete and master an adventure. 11. Complete the achievements. Here's another couple of ways to earn gems, but we're listing them separately due to the ground they cover. Completing achievements is a good way to earn gems, especially if you're new to the game. Some of the achievements will be easier to complete than others, but in all cases, you can complete them organically, meaning you can earn gems by playing the game as normal. You've also got special events where you can stand a better chance of winning free gems, or actually win them as a reward. Rovio tends to hold these events on special occasions, but there's really no way to determine when these limited time events are held, unless you actually play daily and check the company's notifications and bulletins. 12. Don't spend the hatching tickets yet. It does sound like a tempting proposition, spending all your hatching tickets on eggs, and allowing yourself more chances to unlock some rare birds. But we would suggest the opposite instead. Hang on to them, and save them for special events. Some of these limited time events, after all, allow players a better chance of hatching rare birds from their eggs, but they do need tickets to enter. Given that possibility, it might be wiser if you hung on to your tickets for the meantime. As you'll likely have other ways to unlock a whole lot of birds, it shouldn't be a big deal to keep those tickets and not use them just yet. 13. Should you pay for stuff in this game? Like most any other game on the App Store or Play Store, Angry Birds Evolution allows you to buy items with real-life currency, and that includes gem packs. Yes, we're going back to gems for this one, and if you've got some spare money to spend, then you should definitely go for the gem packs, especially the larger ones that give you more value for your money, and, in effect, some free gems. For example, the base gem pack in the game comes with 250 gems, but if you pay double for the next cheapest pack, you'll get 550 gems. That's 50 free gems in effect. It's a bit of a twist on the concept of freebies, but you can't argue with the fact that you're still getting gems for free, even with the small amount you're paying out of your real-life currency. More expensive, larger gem packs come with more free gems, so you might also want to consider saving up your money and splurging on the big packs, if you're serious on making Angry Birds Evolution a pay-to-win endeavor. Then again, if you can enjoy great success in the game without paying a dime of your hard-earned money, then why not? 14. Choose your team wisely. Now we're moving on to some actual battle tips for Angry Birds Evolution. This is where you will go head-to-head against those villainous bad piggies, and there are several things you need to keep in mind, starting with the composition of your team. Just like in any other rebounds per game, team composition matters in this game. Generally, you want to have rare birds that are well leveled up, but if you have to decide between rare birds, you should consider their skills and powers, and not just their level. You won't really have much choice in the early goings, but when you reach a point where you've got a ton of birds, as well as some difficult challenges against the pigs, your choice of birds will definitely be important. 15. Choosing the right attack order, area of effect. Aside from choosing a team that's not just based on rarity, but also based on skills and abilities, you should also keep in mind the order in which your birds attack the enemy pigs. Attack in order of damage dealt out, especially if you're dealing with special attacks. And when talking about special attacks, it's those area of effect, AoE, specials that could work the best for you. So with that in mind, you can try having the other birds act as decoys, luring the pigs toward a vulnerable spot where they're bunched closely together, and leaving them open to a special attack that does as much damage to as many pigs as you could. 16. One by one, at the end of the day. Despite the fact that it's fun to launch an AO-Oreo-style attack against the pigs, it's also better to try taking them out one at a time. Work on the ones with lower health, as is often the case. It's the melee characters who are often the squishiest and easy to take out. You can also focus on those who deal out more damage than others. This may be tricky, and may require you to do some guesstimation to figure out who's more powerful than the rest. So while it's fun to deal out damage on a large number of pigs, it's more practical if you take them out one by one, as a pig with low health will still be able to attack your birds. 17. Miscellaneous attack tips. As for some miscellaneous tips for attacking the pigs in Angry Birds Evolution, we would recommend attacking from the back. This actually deals out more damage than if you would attack from the front line, but could be tricky to pull off unless you're an expert in the game. Also be on the lookout for extra health, extra damage, extra speed, and other helpful boosters that could give you an edge over the pigs, while dealing out more damage to help you beat the enemy faster. 18. Win battles in story mode to unlock more birds. Let's now move on to how you can unlock more birds in Angry Birds Evolution. Yes, winning battles may be fun, but you'll also need a formidable army of birds to take down those pigs and win more of those battles. When talking about the ways to unlock more birds in this game, there isn't a better way to do this than the organic way. That means playing through story mode and winning the battles there. You've also got the aforementioned scout missions. Once your scouts have found something for you to do, go give it a shot, and you may have a chance at unlocking some free birds. The rarity of the birds you'll be receiving is perfectly random, so just be patient, and grind it out if you must. More battles won means more birds, regardless of rarity. 19. Collect, then select. This is in relation to one of the first few tips we talked about in this guide. If you've got birds that you don't need or want, you can always use them as fodder to level up your rarer birds. That means you shouldn't be too worried if you keep getting the same kind of bird, or too many 1-star scrubs that won't do you any good in battle. These can also be sold for some quick coins. Once you've leveled up your rarest birds and accumulated a solid collection of birds, that's when you can become more picky when it comes to the birds you unlock in the game. 20. Other ways to unlock more birds. As we mentioned above, logging into the game every day could earn you some rewards, and these rewards get better as you rack up more consecutive daily logins. Likewise, you won't be rewarded with free birds each and every time you log into the game, but you will often get them, with the rarity improving as you keep playing the game on a daily basis. You can also use your hatching tickets, which are earned at random as you keep playing the game, though one more reason why you may want to hold on to them, as explained in a separate tip, is the fact that you'll more often than not get common birds of low rarity when you use hatching tickets. Then again, you will get daily hatching options for rare eggs, in addition to the hourly ones for the common stuff. That's the only time we'd recommend you use your hatching tickets to add to your collection of birds. 21. About the battle arena. Angry Birds Evolution also features an arena mode, and we would suggest that you take part in arena battles as a chance for you to earn even more goodies, including, but not limited to, free gems. The game's matchmaking system will place you in a league for a given season, and you can earn gems, in most cases, based on how well you rank when the season's over. You can then use your gems to buy eggs from the hatchery, thus giving you even more of a chance to add to your pool of rare birds.
That's it, Brian? Yes.